morning. Thank you for joining me for one of our pharmacy chats. I'm so happy that we were able to put this together. After talking with your son and learning about his desire to follow maybe in the family tradition of going to Ole Miss Pharmacy, I wanted to take advantage of you being in town and you know, while you're here for the holidays and interview you, because I do think that you have a very different background than some of our other pharmacy chats. So I'll let you just start by introducing yourself and where you're from and, you know, kind of the areas of pharmacy that you practice in. So thank you for coming this morning.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Miss Lindsay. The pleasure actually is mine to have this chat with you, to share with you some of, I would say, few ideas or few information about my background, my career right now. Originally, we are from Egypt. However, I received all my education until the B.Pharm degree from Saudi Arabia, particularly King Saud University. After that, I worked there like as a researcher for about a couple of years. Then I came to Mississippi, Ole Miss in particular. In 19, I remember that exactly, was in 11th of August, 1991. I mean, my aim was to obtain my PhD in pharmacognosy under the supervision of the late Professor Hufford, Charles Hufford. I worked under his supervision for about 4.5 years where I got my PhD. Then I joined the Cochrane Research Center for Natural Products for about a year or a year and a half. And I worked under the supervision of the retired Professor Alice Clark. After that, I went back to Saudi Arabia where I joined as assistant professor for about 7 years. Then I moved to Kuwait in 2003 until now. I'm serving there as an associate full professor and as a chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry in the Faculty of Pharmacy, Kuwait University. So as you can see, I'm like multinational. I have the US citizenship again. Since I joined the university and I joined University of Mississippi, I thought actually about retiring over here because I liked the town. I liked Oxford very much. It's kind of very quiet, zero crime percentage. Yes. So I decided in 2006 actually to buy a house, and actually since then we are coming like every summer, and even I thought to plan for my kids even to join the University of Mississippi. So I have two, one already graduated, which is Ahmed, and the other one is still in like Department of Biochemistry. He's like senior this year. And again, I have another daughter. I mean, she's actually a potential applicant for also pharmacy program. She already applied, but she's in high school right now. She'll be finishing by May 2021. So maybe she also...
Sorry, is she going to apply to the early entry program that we have?
Yes, actually, she's in the process of doing that. Maybe if you remember, like about a month ago, I still remember your name because she emailed you asking about the early program, and I think you advised her first to apply the general admission, which she did. And after that, she can apply to the early entry program, yes.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully we can educate the entire family.
That's good. It's my pleasure, really.
Yeah, great. So what do you kind of going back to 1992, I guess, when you were at Ole Miss, what kind do you remember most about that time? Has the school changed? Has it kind of stayed the same?
Well, sure. The school has changed a lot since 1991 when I first joined. To be frank with you, the name of Ole Miss was not that, I would say, known, familiar, I mean, nationally. Maybe I joined the program because then, you know, I mean, in graduate studies, some programs might be very known, and some others might not be that highly ranked. However, pharmacognosy, then I remember it was like third, was ranked third on the nation. So it was very attractive to me to come over here. The town was very small, and I remember, because actually I came from a big city, the nightlife was very, I would say, very important part of the daily life of the people. When I first came here, I figured out that people actually, they go to sleep like at 9 p.m. or, I mean, in the winter, like these days, maybe 7 or even 6 p.m. I mean, I wasn't really, to be frank with you, happy with that. But actually, I figured out later this is the best fit, because you can sleep early, like, or if you have a study, I usually use my nights actually to study a lot during this time. The town was very calm. I mean, a lot of trees and forest here and there. The campus is beautiful and still beautiful till now. I mean, particularly in fall, when you see these trees with different colors, like yellow, orange, and red. I mean, it's very, 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 really, I would say, amazing about that.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to kind of live, and this, I guess this is why you bought a house in Oxford, is it's a quality of life, and it's a wonderful place to raise children, and a lot of people retire for that reason in Oxford, and we're fortunate enough to have a stellar academic program in a very quaint town that offers a lot more. So that probably has stayed the same. I think Oxford was probably just as beautiful in 1991 or two as it is now. The growth has not changed, thankfully. We've got some pretty big procedures in place to make sure that doesn't happen. So, but yeah, I think the school has definitely evolved over the years. When you were a student at Ole Miss, what was something that, stands out in your memory as something that influenced you while you were in school, or a class, or, just anything that you remember from the early years?
Sure. Well, actually, the dedication of my professors actually kind of really caught my attention, like particularly the late Professor Hufford. Also, we used to be taught by a professor in analytical chemistry. His name is John Baker, James McChesney, Alice Clark. All those professors' dedication in teaching process actually caught my attention, to be frank with you. So maybe this is why when, like I would say, I accepted academic career, I tried as much as possible to be also dedicated as they were all with us. So yeah, dedication of the professor actually caught my attention. Frankly speaking, because I came from different background, I came from different culture, I would say the fast things are moving over here actually also caught my attention. I remember like ordering chemicals, we can receive it overnight. Over there in Saudi Arabia, or even right now in Kuwait, you have to wait about a couple of weeks or even 3 weeks until you receive your chemicals. So that was really, I mean, very amazing thing to me. I mean, still you have the fresh idea, you want to do this reaction. So you order the chemicals, the next day you get the chemicals, you do it. You do the reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say drove you to go to pharmacy school? Was it the research and the ability to do that?
To be frank with you, the career. And when I joined the pharmacy school after my high school, my intention was to be a practicing pharmacist. Mm-hmm. And by then, there was, I mean, PharmD was kind of new, and it's not a requirement to practice pharmacy. Mm-hmm. So even only B-Pharm after 5 years of study were enough for us. But after that, actually, I got high GPA. I got fascinated by the research field, particularly natural products. So I decided to pursue my PhD and go towards academia and research. And this is what I did.
Okay. Was the Natural Products Research Center also a big influence of why you wanted to come to Ole Miss and study at Ole Miss, or was it just the pharmacy school?
At that time was the pharmacy school, and the teachers in there, because in the research, in the I would say the graduate school, usually you look for the advisor, maybe more important than the school itself. So I tried to search for some advisors, and actually I found Charles Hufford. In fact, he was also recommended to me by one of my undergrad professors. He was in a good relation with him. His name is El-Firali. And he told me this is a good advisor if you want really to learn, particularly in microbial metabolism and NMR analysis or nuclear magnetic resonance analysis. He is the key. So this is why I really applied to Ole Miss. But usually people coming from there, usually they like to live in big cities, in I would say well-known states, like for example, California, Florida. But I decided to go to Mississippi. When I came, actually, I discovered that my decision was the right one.
Okay. Do you think that Ole Miss prepared you the best that you could have been prepared for kind of the real world of pharmacy?
Yes, sure. Particularly in the field of natural products research. I'm sorry. By then, I remember, and I think this institute is still there. They called REPS, Research Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. It was headed by Dr. James McChesney.
Yep.
And that was really kind of a star, in the field of natural products research. So yes, I was really, I received more than I expected, to be frank with you.
Wonderful. Okay. So what was your first job right out of school?
Well, actually, I accepted a job of a scholar in the Natural Products Research Center. That was in 1996. Phase 1 was just open by then, and I worked there for about a year. And after that, I accepted the position of assistant professor in my, I would say, old school where I got my B.Pharm from, King Saud University. So I lived there for about 7 years, during which I used to come over here during summers and do some collaborative research work with my colleagues in Faculty of Pharmacy over here, or School of Pharmacy, and also in the, I would say, Natural Products Research Center.
So I guess what area of practice do you currently practice in?
Well, right now I'm in academia and research. I'm teaching students, both undergrad and graduate students, and do research in my field, natural products, chemistry.
Okay, at the University of Kuwait, correct?
Yes, but I do have some joint projects also with some people over here, like Dr. Khan, Ikhlas Khan and his wife, Ms. Khan. I have also some joint projects also with Dr. Muhammad Radwan. Also do some collaboration together.
Okay. So what would you say is, are the environments of the academia world of pharmacy the same? Or are they vastly different, compared to Ole Miss versus where you teach now?
Definitely. Over here, actually, I keep saying that, particularly in the area of natural product research, they do have, I would say, state-of-the-art instruments for conducting research. It's unlike in Kuwait, to be frank with you. They are devoting some money, but we don't have like an advanced instruments like over here. Mm-hmm. Like they have over here, I think 3 or 4 NMRs. They have 3 or 4 mass spectra or mass spectrometers. So the area of the research over here, of course, they are much more advanced. Again, I'm sure you know that like research is a kind of, you have to have good connections with other people. So having Ole Miss or having like University of Mississippi, people in here also, they are very connected to people around them, like for example, in North Carolina, in California. So connection is very easy over here. So, but over there is kind of difficult, maybe because of the physical distance, maybe, So again, doing research here is much, I would say, much easier than doing it over there. And even the advancement, the rate of publication is much more, I would say, speedy than over there in Kuwait.
And frankly, maybe just because of resources.
Yes.
Not because the wolf's not there, but frankly, for just resources. So you said earlier that when you kind of went to school that Ole Miss was not this nationally known pharmaceutical area. That would you say that's changed
Yes.
now versus back then?
Yes, sure. I remember actually every summer I come over here. I mean, I used to sit with Professor Hufford, the late Professor Hufford, and we talk about the research, the fundraising, the grants they got from NIH or from other, I would say, sponsors. They have a lot. I think in 1 year, they were the one best on the nation. I mean, the first on the nation in the grants they received. I remember maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So definitely it got changed a lot. I remember when I was here in 1991 until 1996, we used to have only one NMR machine. Right now they have a lot and state of the art, to be frank with you. The establishment of the research center in conjunction with the USDA, I mean, this is definitely added a lot to the research facility in Ole Miss. Right now, I believe Ole Miss actually, it is well-known university, I mean, nationwide and even internationally. I know that you have a lot of international students, both in undergrad and grad, particularly from the Middle East, maybe Saudi Arabia, Egypt. So I believe, yes, I mean, right now it is a renowned place. And this is why I thought, like, to be frank with me and with my kids, to come and join over here. Although, like Ahmed thought at the beginning to join something in the north, like maybe Pennsylvania. And I told him, when you come to Ole Miss, you will change your opinion. The other thing, to be frank with you, is to have a safe place. So when you have your kids in that safe place, you will be assured nothing wrong is going to happen to them.
Yeah. So has that conversation come about with your family and particularly your son, Ahmed, because of COVID? Maybe being far away from home is not something that maybe he's looking into as much as he was before. Has COVID-19 changed discussions within your family?
Not really, to be frank with you, but okay. I'm not that a person to press my opinions on my kids. I tried, to be frank with you, I tried from the beginning in, I think, 2014 or 14, when he applied to Ole Miss. I told him, why don't you consider like pharmacy? He told me, no, I want to do biology. Then I will think I might go to medicine or pharmacy. I told him, it's really up to you. But after graduating with a BS in biology, I think right now he's ready for the next step. So I talked to him like what, 5 or 10 days ago about considering pharmacy. I told him, even if you want me to come with you, we can meet the coordinator. He told me, no, there is no need. I'll talk to her. So I think he met with you and he went from there.
Ahmed, do you want to get in the shot so we can kind of talk together? This is a good transition to kind of talk with you as well.
Okay. Yes,
there we go. There we go. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
So with your dad, you know, we've been talking kind of about his profession. So what advice has he given you about this world of pharmacy and why it would be a good fit for you?
I think it's most of all, it's really, as we spoke about last time, it's a world of networking and connections. And I remember growing up, every year we'd come here in the summer and he'd have his ASP meetings, his conferences. And so we'd come and we'd it's a chance to get to know other people, talk to them about the field of pharmacy, stuff like that. And I think that's really interesting.
Right. Has he shared any advice for, I mean, you went to undergrad at Ole Miss, you definitely know the campus and the lifestyle in Oxford, but what has he shared about maybe being successful in pharmacy school? Because that's definitely a whole other animal of requirements and curriculum and research, which he has you really have a great resource at home that other students, you kind of have a leg up.
Yes,
So you definitely need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that yesterday. It's a lot of studying, first of all. Like you just have to study. And so we were talking about how like he would do research through the day and then come back at night at like 7 p.m. or something, get a quick meal in, and then just study until like midnight or something. So it's a lot of, you know, if I can get that sort of work ethic, that study ethic from my dad, I think that would be amazing, and that would carry me through pharmacy school, because it's just a lot of studying.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Have y'all talked about maybe areas of pharmacy that would be good to explore more?
Yes, so I'm thinking of PharmD, just because it's maybe a little bit related to medicine. I think it's interesting to look at, you know, study the drugs, the way the drugs are made, or what's in the drugs, the active chemicals, the active ingredients, and how they interact with the body. As I told you last time, I was working as a scribe, and I would actually scribe at a hospital, and I would see PharmD like people, you know, pharmacists alongside me, and I'd see, you know, physicians asking them, okay, this patient has this, how much of this drug should I give him? And then, you know, using their PharmD, you know, degree, using their knowledge, they would tell them the appropriate doses, you know, the appropriate drugs. And I think that's fascinating, just the way the drugs work with the body.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think you've got a great resource at home, and
Yes.
I'm glad that you've been able to travel for the holidays, and hopefully y'all will have a lot of family time. And over the next couple of weeks, we're actually we have quite a few kind of family ties to pharmacy. We've got a couple of some brothers and some sisters and an aunt and an uncle that pharmacy is a close-knit community. And I know you know that as well as I do. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to highlight kind of the family legacy in pharmacy and how parents and relatives can really influence the student. And I think that's apparent here today, is that you had a conversation, and then you had a conversation with me, and now you're applying to pharmacy school. So, which could potentially change, you know, the rest of your life. So, well, thank y'all so much for joining me today. I won't keep you any longer, but we'll post this the next week or so. So, but Ahmed, if you need me anytime, just let me know.
Yeah,
Okay?
thank you. Pleasure.